Hey everyone, today I want to share a truly chilling story that may just change the way you think about life and what comes after. Meet Celine Rivers. She had an experience that most of us only read about, one that revealed some shocking scenes of souls enduring pain in the afterlife. Through her journey, she found some eye-opening insights about cremation and what really unfolds when we leave this earthly realm. Trust me, what Celine experienced will leave you in awe. Before diving in, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any other intriguing content like this. Now let's embark on this intense and enlightening ride. Hello, my name's Celine Rivers, and I feel compelled to tell you about a life-altering incident that forever changed my perspective. I call Brevard, North Carolina home, a lovely town surrounded by the scenic Great Smoky Mountains. I've spent nearly 15 wonderful years with my husband Derek, and we're blessed with two amazing kids. The essence of our life revolves around heartfelt moments, especially during the holidays when our home bursts with joy, traditions, and laughter. As a literature teacher at the local school, I've always prided myself on leading an active and healthy lifestyle. I love practicing yoga 3 times a week and often enjoy hikes on the beautiful trails near my home. Honestly, I never thought that at the age of 42, I'd be recounting a profound tale about teetering between life and death. It's kind of surreal, considering I've generally leaned towards skepticism when it comes to the supernatural or any kind of spiritual phenomenon. Our family values the connection with nature and local customs. We tend to our own herb and vegetable garden, and on weekends we relish picnics in the mountains. That deep bond with nature has always offered me tranquility and harmony, a source of strength that became even more significant after my experience. Before all this unfolded, I was just like any other person, caught up in daily routines and fixated on those nagging little frustrations that life throws our way. Sometimes I even forgot to take a step back and appreciate the sheer beauty around me. I'd have moments of anxiety about the future and occasionally get lost in thoughts of the past. It was a typical life, filled with ordinary joys and the usual hurdles. What I'm about to recount took place while I was preparing for Christmas last year. The twinkling lights outside sparkled like stars, and the delightful scent of cookies wafted in the air. This was a moment full of excitement, a time for family gatherings and festive cheer. Yet, nothing could have anticipated what was coming my way. Life, as I soon learned, has a way of throwing curveballs when we're least prepared, and those unplanned events often teach us the most valuable lessons. Right now, I find myself in my bed, grappling with an excruciating headache that feels unlike anything I've encountered before. It's as if 100 tiny daggers are stabbing at my skull all at once. Even the dimmed lights in the room hit my eyes like sharp knives. Glancing at the digital clock on the bedside, I take in the glaring red numbers, 2:47 a.m. They pulse in a way that amplifies the discomfort I'm feeling. Attempting to reach for the water beside me, I realize my right arm isn't responding. It's a chilling sensation. I can see my arm, but it feels foreign, disconnected from me. I try to call out to Derek, who is peacefully asleep next to me, but my mouth feels heavy and numb. The words I want to say seem trapped, caught somewhere between thought and speech. Panic begins to swell in my chest like a balloon about to burst. My breaths quicken, they grow shallow, and as I look around, the room spins disorientingly. The once familiar shadows in the corners now twist into frightening forms. The relentless ticking of the clock resonates in my ears, sounding more like a hammer striking than a timekeeper. With tremendous effort, I focus on moving my left hand, the one that still obeys. Too weak to summon much strength, I awkwardly reach out, trying to connect with Derek's arm. My fingers tremble and fumble, as though I'm maneuvering them with invisible strings. Beads of sweat trickle down my forehead, and I can feel the sheets clinging to my damp skin. That sense of helplessness is all-consuming. While my mind remains sharply aware, it's a cruel twist of fate that allows me to fully grasp the dire nature of my condition. I hear the soft breaths of my children on the other side of the wall, blissfully unaware of the turmoil here. The thought of them fuels me, urging me to press on one last time. Summoning every bit of energy I can manage, I implore my left hand to give Derek a gentle shake. It's a feeble attempt, but just enough to stir him awake. He mumbles something unintelligible at first, but then slowly his eyes flutter open. When our gazes lock, I witness the precise moment realization washes over him. Something is terribly amiss. Derek's expression shifts to one of deep worry as he struggles to grasp my distress. My efforts to voice what I feel come out as jumbled noises, and I can feel a wave of frustration welling up inside me. I can almost see the moment realization dawns on him. His eyes expand in shock, and he leaps from the bed with a burst of energy that surprises me. "Just hold on, sweetheart," he urges, panic lacing his voice as he quickly grabs his phone to call for help. His reassurance wraps around me, though it feels distant, as though I'm hearing it through a thick wall. I observe, with an odd clarity, as he details what's happening to the emergency operator. Time stretches out like molasses. Suddenly, the sound of sirens pierces the peaceful morning air, sending a ripple of urgency through the stillness. I watch the red and blue lights flickering across the walls of our room, a bizarre sight amid the chaos. Paramedics rush in, moving with precision, dragging in a stretcher and bags of equipment. Their demeanor is calm and collected, but I can sense the intensity in their actions. Questions fly around me, but I can't respond. Derek takes the lead, his usually confident voice betraying a hint of tremor. "She was fine before she went to bed," he shares, his words a stark reminder. "We were just decorating for the holidays." There's something unsettling about how mundane that remark sounds against the backdrop of our current crisis. It hits me hard. I feel their careful hands lifting me onto the stretcher, but every movement sends sharp jolts of agony through my head. The lights of the corridor swirl past me as they wheel me toward the ambulance. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch sight of our kids peering in from their rooms, uncertainty etched on their small faces. Part of me wishes I could reassure them everything will be all right, but the words are trapped in my throat. In the back of the ambulance, the beeping machines and the rapid rush through empty streets heighten the tension. One paramedic prepares a needle for my arm while another checks my vitals. Derek grips my hand tightly, his touch grounding me like an anchor, connecting me to the world outside my pain. Through the small window, I catch a glimpse of dawn breaking, the sky turning a soft shade of pink. As we reach the hospital, the emergency room doors swing open, and a team of medical professionals is already on standby. The harsh fluorescent lights inside are blinding, a stark contrast to the tender morning light outside. The constant beeping of monitors surrounds me, forming a chaotic yet rhythmic backdrop to the urgency in the air. Voices of paramedics blur together as they exchange critical details with the doctors, tossing around terms like ischemic stroke and carotid dissection. Even in my haze, I grasp the gravity of those words. With practiced precision, I moved onto a stretcher by the medical team. A bald doctor leans over me, her demeanor a compassionate blend of gentleness and authority. She runs through neurological checks, and when she touches my right side, it feels like her hand is separated by layers of mist. A flash of light dances before my eyes, igniting a pain that is almost too much to bear. As chaos unfolds around me, a nurse introduces yet another needle, sending a chilling liquid coursing through my veins. "It's a blood thinner," I hear someone mention. Time behaves oddly here, stretching moments into eternity or racing by in an instant. Derek stays close, worry etched on his face, balancing fear with fierce resolve. He navigates questions from the doctors about my health history and grips my hand tightly during examinations. He quietly murmurs words of support, though they barely reach me through the fog. The atmosphere crackles with urgency as test results come in, elevating the tension in the room. The bald doctor leans in to speak with Derek, her voice low but serious. Phrases float toward me, fragmented yet heavy. "We need to transfer her, specialized center, helicopter, emergency surgery." Each word tightens the knot in my stomach, and I can feel my heartbeat quickening on the monitor beside me. Looking out the window, I notice dawn breaking. Sunlight spills into the emergency room, casting golden shapes against the sterile ceiling, a bizarre juxtaposition to the seriousness of my situation. Then, something shifts. I begin to sense a peculiar lightness, different from the effects of the medications. Suddenly, I find myself in a helicopter, and an incredible transformation occurs. The excruciating pain that held me captive starts to fade away, not slowly but abruptly, like someone flicking a switch. The roar of the helicopter fades too, drifting into the background, as if it's no longer a part of my world. As the first light of day broke through the window of the helicopter, I had an unexpected realization. This wasn't just any light. It felt alive, pulsating with energy. Each beam seemed to unravel into a spectacular array of colors that I'd never encountered before. It was as if every ray held entire worlds within it. I noticed that I was in motion, but it felt entirely different from the way the helicopter was soaring through the sky. It was a surreal sensation, almost like I was lifting up and away from my own physical self. Curiously, there was no sense of panic, just a tranquil yet intense curiosity. Below me, my body lay still on a stretcher, surrounded by medical professionals. Their frantic activity and concerned voices registered only as a slow-motion film playing out beneath me. I was experiencing something extraordinary. It felt as if every particle of my being was expanding and merging with something much greater than myself. The constraints of my physical body, which had bound me moments ago, seemed to vanish. I was now all consciousness, liberated from the physical confines I had always known. The helicopter's roof, once a solid barrier, faded away in my mind. I passed through it like it was nothing but a curtain of light. Higher and higher I ascended. Down below, the helicopter appeared as a small metallic insect, while the city of Brevard morphed into a tiny, toy-like map. The Great Smoky Mountains, which I had always viewed as towering giants, now resembled gentle waves undulating across the landscape. The atmosphere began shifting around me, growing denser and more vibrant, like the air itself was woven with liquid light. I struggled to find the right words to describe the sensation. It felt like crossing the threshold between two distinct realities. There was no fear, no uncertainty, only a profound feeling that I was returning to a place I once knew but had somehow forgotten. Just then, I found myself in an astonishing environment that seemed to break every rule of earthly logic. It resembled a garden, but calling it that felt like an extreme understatement. The area thrummed with vitality and awareness. Every leaf and petal radiated its own inner glow, crafting a visual harmony that made my earthly perception seem utterly inadequate to appreciate the sheer beauty surrounding me. The colors here were beyond anything my imagination could conceive, a vibrant tapestry that seemed almost alive in its brilliance. Imagine a place that is filled with every hue imaginable, yet has none. That's what I sense around me. The blossoms here have petals that sparkle like shards of light. As I draw near, they don't simply exist. They seem to respond, sending out waves of awareness in my direction. Beneath me, if beneath even applies anymore, the ground shifts like an energy field, molding itself perfectly to my form. It's almost surreal, as if I'm gliding instead of walking. Shadows don't exist in this reality. Light floods in from every angle, illuminating everything without a single source. As for the air, if that's the right term, it's heavy with significance. Each inhalation isn't just about oxygen, it's filled with a profound sense of understanding. Waves of knowledge rush through me, as if every inch of this realm holds books bursting with insights. Towering above are trees unlike any I've seen on Earth. Their trunks seem expertly crafted from strands of light, while their branches unfurl in intricate fractal designs that seem to narrate their own tales. The leaves, they resemble tiny galaxies swirling and spinning, each a world unto itself. There's a kind of music here too, but it isn't what you'd expect. It feels as though reality itself is in chorus, a harmonious essence emerging from all that exists. I don't hear this melody with ears, it resonates deeply within me, each note echoing as if I were part of a grand symphony played by the cosmos. While I take in this stunning garden of light, I sense something nearby. At first, it's not something to see. Instead, it's a palpable energy that fills the space. This presence starts to take form before me, and that's when I meet her, Mira. Describing her is tough. Human language feels inadequate. She doesn't have a physical shape that I can grasp, yet she's unmistakable, an embodiment of living light, ever shifting in color and intensity. Her existence radiates wisdom so profound it brings forth unbidden feelings, as if I'm on the verge of tears, although I can't quite tell if I possess a physical form to shed them. Instead of speaking, our connection transpires through thoughts that glide seamlessly into my mind. Imagine a world where every communication pulses with significance, where even a single word feels like a treasure chest of insights waiting to be opened. "Hello, dear spirit," she seems to say, and with those few syllables, I'm enveloped by an overwhelming sense of universal love. "You are welcomed. This is a nurturing space for transformation and clarity," her essence radiates. Her presence carries weight beyond just words. It's infused with emotions, memories, and profound truths that echo within me. When I attempt to voice my thoughts, it dawns on me that speaking isn't necessary. She senses my uncertainties and fears instantly. Celine Rivers exudes a soothing energy that comforts me like a warm embrace, wrapping around not just my mind but the entirety of my being. "You have many queries," she conveys, and as I stand there, all my ponderings about existence, mortality, purpose, and significance begin to align in my head, much like a puzzle finding its pieces. I'm here to steer you through this phase of change, to reveal insights your heart instinctively understands but your earthly mind might have overlooked. Her presence feels timeless, both ancient and brand new, a delightful fusion of the familiar and the extraordinary. It's as though she has always been a part of me, patiently waiting for this moment. Each second spent with her feels like peeling back layers of consciousness, revealing experiences that surpass anything I've known in my life on Earth. Soon, Celine starts to reveal visions that swirl around us, unfolding like vibrant, three-dimensional displays. The celestial garden morphs into a living backdrop for these discoveries. The first image is unsettling. I observe souls meandering in confusion and distress. At first, I assume they are tormented by the aftermath of their cremation, but Celine gently shifts my perspective. "Look closer," she encourages, and suddenly the scenes sharpen, revealing that these souls bear the burdens of their own life choices. It's not the fate of their bodies after death that troubles them, but rather the mental habits and behaviors they nurtured during their time on Earth. As the visuals shift, I begin to grasp how every choice crafted in life sends out energetic ripples, extending well beyond our physical forms. It's akin to witnessing a cosmic tapestry being woven from the fibers of our daily decisions. Each action creates threads that weave into the universe. Every act of kindness, every moment where compassion shines through, weaves a golden thread into the fabric of our lives. In contrast, negative actions leave dark imprints that call for transformation, a chance to learn and embrace love instead. Physical death, Celine continues, is merely a change in state. What really counts isn't the end, but rather the consciousness we nurture throughout our lives. As she shares these insights, I start to grasp how our beliefs and attitudes influence our experiences after we pass on. Some souls, confined by their fears and limitations, trap themselves in their own prisons. Meanwhile, those who cultivate love and comprehension glide toward peace and growth. A revelation washes over me. There's no divine punishment awaiting us, only the organic consequences stemming from our choices, along with the lessons they impart. I realize that every soul eventually makes its way to the light, although some may require more time and assistance to navigate their earthly experiences. Celine makes it clear that the essence of life isn't about chasing an unattainable perfection. Instead, it's about evolving through our experiences, learning from our struggles, and most crucially, deepening our capacity to love in ever more profound and unconditional ways. As I take in Celine's words, a new presence draws near. Suddenly, a golden light appears beside me, and I instantly recognize it. It's Derek, my cherished dog who crossed over 5 years ago. His spirit feels both familiar and ethereal. While he doesn't resemble the Labrador I once knew exactly, he embodies the pure essence of love and loyalty. The joy of seeing him again fills my heart. Here, there are no barriers between humans and animals. We connect on a deeper level of awareness. I feel the love we shared amplified beyond measure. Derek reveals to me that he has stayed by my side all along, serving as an unseen protector through both my joy and sorrow. Before long, more presences begin to emerge. They are different aspects of myself from previous lives, creating a surreal atmosphere around me. I witness myself as a 19th century teacher devoted to nurturing young minds in a quaint village. I also see a healer from long ago, skilled in the ways of medicinal herbs. Each of these incarnations brings with it distinct lessons and hurdles. Observe how each lifetime contributes to your growth, Celine gently advises. I start to realize how much of what I am stems from lives I've lived before. Skills I've acquired, along with some fears, feel like pieces handed down to me through time. My enthusiasm for teaching and my appreciation for the great outdoors are all interwoven into a complex tapestry of experiences I've gathered. These various versions of who I've been don't exist in isolation. They coexist all at once in this spiritual realm. It's akin to gazing through a kaleidoscope where every twist unveils a fresh, interconnected pattern of life unfolding. With this understanding comes a powerful insight. We're not confined to merely one way of being. Each lifetime is like a chance to delve into different facets of our true selves, to acquire new wisdom, and to broaden our ability to love and comprehend. In this realm, the boundaries we perceive as time and space dissolve. Everything here exists in an eternal now, with past, present, and future moving together in beautiful synchronization. As I soak in this profound realization, Celine streams my focus towards something entirely different. Before me, like a celestial canvas, images begin to emerge, my children and Derek, present and alive. The clarity of the scene is heart-wrenching. I see my young ones waking up, looking for me with confused eyes. Then I witness Derek at the hospital, his face a mix of dread and hope as he clutches my hand while the bald doctor rushes around trying to save me. Pay attention, Celine urges. This is a pivotal moment. The scenes continue, revealing the aftermath of my potential choice to leave. I see my children growing up missing their mother, each life milestone, graduations, weddings, the joy of grandchildren, touched by an absence that feels so deep. I picture Derek, caught in the storm of responsibility, grappling with the ache of longing to keep our family together. Now a different kind of pain washes over me. It isn't physical, it's spiritual. It's about the heavy decision laid before me. One part of my soul yearns to stay in this realm filled with light, understanding, and unconditional love. Yet another part recoils at the thought of the grief my presence would leave behind. Just remember, Celine's voice is gentle. Every choice is respected here. There's no judgment, just the opportunities to learn and grow. Her words resonate deeply within me. I recognize that this decision isn't simply about what's right or wrong. It's about the impact of my existence. The path my soul embarks upon reveals itself in a moment of clarity. I find myself making a heartfelt decision. Thinking of my family fills me with love and understanding. The lessons I have yet to grasp and pass on while I'm still here on earth are significant. The urge to witness my children grow up outweighs the comforts of a peaceful existence beyond this world. Wrapped in a radiant embrace, Alara's presence conveys warmth and wisdom. You chose from the heart, she tells me, and that's the most genuine path you can take. As I prepare for my journey back, I feel her blessing and love surrounding me. The beautiful garden that once enveloped me starts to fade, yet I know the truths I discovered will stay etched in my soul. Returning is nothing like the graceful exit I experienced. It's as if I'm being pulled through a whirlwind of energy, where the serenity of the spiritual world gives way to a barrage of stark physical sensations. Just when I thought the pain had vanished, it begins to surge back in relentless waves. Suddenly, I find myself in an operating room. I can hear the frantic voices of the medical staff, the whirring machines, and the persistent beeping of heart monitors. My awareness flickers between two realms. I can still sense Alara's echo, but it's slipping away, like the final notes of a fading melody. My body convulses violently, each muscle spasming as it struggles to reconnect with my essence. It's an excruciating sensation, akin to trying to fit a large object into a tiny container. Alarmed voices ring out, commands are issued, and I can hear the clinking of surgical tools at work. "We're losing her," someone yells, and in that moment, an electric shock coursing through my chest jolts me awake. The defibrillator's shock reinforces my ties to the physical realm, as if each cell within me is being prompted to awaken, reconnect, and recalibrate. Pain radiates sharply from one side of my body, an unsettling contrast to the numbness I felt before. This pain is alive, a throbbing reminder that my body is fighting to recover. I taste blood, metallic and foreign, in my mouth, and the sharp scent of antiseptics fills the air. The cold surface of the operating room makes my exposed skin shiver. Each uncomfortable sensation is a vivid confirmation that I am truly on my way back. As the bald doctor and his team carry on with the surgery, there's a noticeable shift in their tone. "We've got a heartbeat," one of them announces. And at that moment, I realize I timed my return perfectly. Even though I'm feeling frail, my body is responding positively to the treatment. The procedure is ongoing, and while I can't move or even utter a sound, I'm completely tuned in to everything happening around me. Gradually, the vivid images of the celestial garden start to fade, drifting away like a morning dream. However, the feelings of love and the soothing presence of Alara linger within me, profound and unshakable. I understand that the path to recovery will be daunting, but there's this deep-seated belief that fills me with assurance. I truly made the right decision to come back. If this inspiring spiritual story resonated with you, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, share what you're thinking in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos, as we aim to touch more lives with this message. Until next time,